Feeders are probably gonna be dead by the end of 2021 because sadly, streaming. I do not like streaming at all. I am probably one of the least. Most of my generation loves streaming. They think it's like the greatest thing ever to be invented. But I do not like it because I know streaming is known for censorship. Okay, we all know that streaming sites censor their movies. HBO Max is one of the biggest offenders with Gone Off the Wind, you know, that whole fiasco. Okay, Apple TV Plus, another one of the ones that are most hated for because they were trying to kill the family tradition of watching TV with, Charlie Brown movies, Charlie Brown shorts that everybody loves watching during Christmas. Well, of course, you have to have an Apple TV who, have watched the Charlie Brown shows now. It's like absolutely ridiculous. You now have to have a specific TV. And people are not going to stand that. People are going to buy the Blu-ray. People who have that at the tradition are going to buy the Blu-ray. Or are going to, suffer and buy an Apple TV or not watch it at all. Because that's going to be your only options now, okay? Feeders are dying. Nobody cares about feeders, but feeders always suck. They always hated movie feeders. They're very expensive. Very expensive. $10 per ticket. It's very, very expensive. Then you have to buy popcorn because you'll be looked at weird if you don't have popcorn or drink, which costs like $40 because it's very overpriced because that's the thing they make the money off of, and all these movies will not be coming to feeders. They'll be coming on HBO Max instead. Cinemas won't be too happy about this because they'll still probably make that money in China, obviously. But as in America, the domestic box office is probably be down with all these movies. And they're gonna say it's because of HBO Max. Because you can't really say if these movies are a flop then, as well. That means we won't have the days where I can't make fun where we can't make fun of movies being flops anymore. Which would be pretty funny. Which would be pretty funny, especially if a movie's woke. Because I say it makes excuse. Oh, it's on HBO Max. We would just watch it on there instead. Which is gonna be. Same if Disney, all the movies are coming to Disney Plus, but nobody. Disney's monopoly. We don't need to have. We don't need a monopoly on movies. That's what Disney's trying to do. They're trying to make a monopoly on movies. You do not need a monopoly. Okay, Disney can keep the woke monopoly to themselves. Okay, on Disney Plus and have the Disney fanboys. This is the only people who are using Disney Plus to watch Disney movies. So, they can keep the monopoly to Disney Plus. No one wants to deal with the monopoly on feeders and movies, okay? But HBO, the Warner Bros. Is the second biggest, I think, besides Universal. Now I have to wait for Universal to see what they want to do as well. Sony is as well, but feeders, they're on the fifth line. Most of these are some of the biggest movies of the next year. Matrix 4, Suicide Squad, Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune. These are some of the Tom and Jerry, Mortal Kombat. These are some of the biggest games and movies of the year. And some lesser known movies like Space Jam: A New Legacy, The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It. That movie's definitely gonna tank in the box office. The Conjuring. Like some of these bigger movies, people are going to want to see in the theaters. But movies like The Conjuring and horror movies, they're gonna tank in the theaters. Horror movies are gonna tank in the theaters because most people are going to stream them instead. Again, HBO Max is very expensive, and the problem with streaming is there's like 10 to 20 streaming services around. Okay, there's like 20 streaming services as well. Which is so you're gonna have to pay because Disney's not gonna keep the service at $8 a month. They're going to increase the price. Netflix is nearly like $20 a month. Okay, HBO Max is like nearly $20 a month as well. No, but not. And again, because of the virus, not everybody's gonna have this money to have HBO Max. Not everybody's gonna have the money to have HBO Max. Okay, here and but I want Disney Plus as well, but I have to have Netflix as well, and I have to have it's just too many streaming services. Okay, and there's all these other streaming services you have to take into consideration. Okay, Apple TV, we really have to buy an Apple TV to get Apple TV Plus. Okay, then there's also Peacock, which is the Comcast, Viacom streaming service, where it's all their movies on there, okay? And then won't be surprised if Universal makes their own streaming service. There's too many streaming services. really, if streaming were to survive, there has to be like this one service, okay, one or two services, because we need competition, because it's a capitalist society, okay. So Netflix, HBO, and Disney could be the only big three. Of course, there could be some other services coming out. It's not gonna stop companies from making their own services to cash in, but streaming is kind of like, like if the whole, like it's the same thing on PC. There's like this new streaming wars. There's Ubisoft's one, whereas again, it doesn't really matter because Ubisoft releases the auto products on Steam anyways. So EA, you know, there's Activision. They now have BattleNet, which is basically just their games. Okay, Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft are all on there. You also have Epic Games Store, which is the biggest competitor beside to Steam. But it's the same thing on PC as well. Same thing. Okay, same thing on PC. Steam is still the biggest out there. EA finally decided to say, okay, we'll put our games on Steam because our service failed, which again is EA. No one wanted to use EA's service, so it must have failed as well. Of course, Microsoft has their own service called Games Pass. I think you play Games Pass on PC as well. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.